there. Yay.
Hello. Yeah, amazing.
Drum roll, we're live. My first live here in Substack, and I'm so excited and
And
so
mine.
happy. And yours. And I'm so happy that Aga is doing it with me because I love conversations that feel so much better to me. So I'm Gaia. I'm here writing for women who are purpose driven and who want to build businesses without burning out and following their hearts, doing what they really love. And Aga is my friend, my client, and my VA. So
Yay.
you're the
Bringing
Trinity here.
bargain here.
And she asked me a question the other day, and from our conversation, we said, we have to talk about this publicly because I'm sure there is a lot of women who can benefit from that. If you're a service-based business owner or want to be one, that could be helpful. Ara, I turn it over to you. Would you introduce yourself and just let's get back to where we started last time.
Yeah, so I'm obviously your VA. I've been a VA for quite a while now, about 4 years, and I'm obviously your client as well. So we kind of got talking about the subject, and it's something that I think it's definitely worth discussing, isn't it? Because we had a very long conversation about it, and I think we should definitely, like you said, we should look at getting it on live and then have a bit of a chat about this. So remind me how we started the conversation. I'm just trying to remember how we actually started the conversation.
We started because you were telling me about one of your clients and that it feels so frustrating for you and even sometimes makes you angry when they don't do what they agreed to do and then you're chasing them. More or less, that was it, right? Can you tell a little bit more about it?
Yes, and it does happen a lot with quite a lot of clients, because as a VA, there is an expectation on you to kind of to be there, to be that support network for your client, to be that support pillar for your client, to be there, to be able to help them run the business the best way they possibly can. But sometimes you get to a point where you are sat there doing all you can, but there is a couple of bits of information that are missing and you need your client to do it, or you need your client to do something. You ask that client and they don't respond to you, or they get busy, or you chase them and they're not giving you the answers, or they not wanting to give you answers. And it just gets really, really frustrating and difficult. And then you feel, well, I feel like, I'm then becoming responsible for the tasks that are not being completed, even though I can complete them because I've not been given the information from the client. And it then feels very frustrating because I'm trying to help and I'm there and they're paying me to help them, but I can't. And it becomes a very, very difficult situation. I think that's where we started talking about all sorts of other stuff, and, how to deal with it and the expectations and feeling that we have to always be the ones responsible for everything, where in fact it's not necessarily the case.
And I must say, you are talking about this from the VA point of view, but I found this so interesting because we see this everywhere. As a coach, we see people like we do some accountability agreements with them, or we give them some little steps to do, and they come back week after week after week and they haven't done them. These kind of things are everywhere, right? Or when I was in the healing business and I would tell people like to do some lifestyle changes, and they come back and they haven't done them.
Are you talking about me when you tell me certain things used to be done and again don't do them? Are you talking about me as well?
I'm not talking about you.
Take a rest and I don't, because it's common. It's very common.
It is.
When you as a coach or a business owner say this needs to be done and it doesn't get done because of various different reasons, you feel responsible.
Yes, exactly. And what I said to you is, first of all, when you told me this, I was like, yeah, but it's not your problem. It's the client's problem. So the real question, there are two ways we have to look at this. So if I would be working with one of your clients, I would say, okay, what's holding you back? Let's look why you're not doing what you said you would do or what you want to do. That's one thing, but that's not our topic today. our topic today is, why on earth is this bothering you so much? You could just lean back and go like, you're not doing it. I'm so sorry. You pay my bill, fine. I don't care.
I guess it's the inner expectations that a lot of us have. We need to, and I think we touched on that we have to prove ourselves. We have to prove that we're doing this, and we have to prove that we are a good VA, that we'll always follow up, and we are a good business owner that will always follow up with a client, whatever kind of thing you're doing, whether you're VA, OBM, or you're a business owner. You're always going to sit there and try to prove that you can. And I think that's why it bothers me, because I feel like I have to prove I can do this. I have to prove that I can get this client and get them to grow the business and get them to get where they want to get to.
Because if not, what does that mean? If my client is not successful, what does it say about me?
See, it's not even that I'm not good at my job, but that's not the biggest thing that concerns me. Because for me personally, as a VA, if my client doesn't get to where they want to get to, I genuinely feel upset, because I want them and I want the business to succeed. Not because I will then keep them as a client. Of course, there is always a motive. Oh yeah, it's my client. I will get money. I'll get paid. Brilliant, amazing, more hours, whatever. But the biggest motive for me is for my clients to succeed. And I always looked at it that way. And, my clients always say, you always care about my business as much as you care about yours. And that's, for me, that's the motive. Is if my client doesn't get to where they want to get to, I feel like I'm not getting somewhere, because I treat their business like my business. Does that make sense?
And it totally makes sense. And still the question is, what is the pattern below? Because it is stressful for you. If you would be happy with that, we wouldn't be talking about that. But it's frustrating and it's stressful and it makes you angry sometimes. That's because we looked at your human design, and anger is one of the signs that you are on the wrong path. So that you're out of alignment with yourself. So that is why we're talking about this. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for coming. So glad to see you here. So what is the pattern below? And if I may say, I would say, as women, we are all conditioned to do this to a certain extent. We have learned to be helpful, to be kind of sometimes the savior. That depends a bit on our childhood, right? But the nice one, the helpful one, the one who is always there for others, la-di-la-di-la. That's our collective, I could even say, conditioning. And still, we're not all of them so deep in the pattern. And when I looked into your human design, I told you there is a part in your design, a certain openness that makes your wish to prove your worth even stronger. Because it could be a fear, right? A fear of, oh my God, if my client is not successful in some way or form, they will leave me and then I lose the income. But that's not the point. The point is the pressure to prove the worth. And it can come from, as I said, from childhood, from conditioning, from all the secret vows and secret rules that we created in our belief system. And also it can come from our human design. Both, and when both come together, it's even stronger.
And it's a really difficult pattern to break. It's a really difficult thing to learn yourself out of, because if you lived all your life trying to prove yourself, either as a woman or as a person in general, because it's not just for women. I mean, a lot of men would be proving themselves that, I can do this, I can, it goes for both. But I think if you lived all your life trying to prove yourself, I was the youngest child, so I was always trying to prove myself that I can do as good as my siblings do, because I was always the youngest one. And maybe that's where it comes from. It's from being, always trying to prove that I can beat them, or I can do this, I can do better. I don't know. But for me, it's always the client and how successful they get, and it's hard to sit back and say, well, if you don't do this, that's your problem. It's nothing to do with me. It's your business at the end of the day, not mine. So if you don't get me the information, then you're gonna fail. I can't, genuinely, for me, I just It's such a hard thing to even say, to even say that. It's like, God, what am I? That's not me. I don't. Yeah.
What I find so interesting is the change in your voice when you say this. It's like, okay, not my problem. I have nothing to do with it. There is a kind of anger in there. But so here's the thing, and I wrote about this the other day in an article. I learned this when I dove deep into family constellations. The guy who created family constellations, I don't know if you've heard about it. This is a system to untangle enmeshed family situations without the whole family taking part. It's a wonderful method. We can talk about that another day. But one sentence he coined when I was in one of his seminars, it stuck for me, and I've been teaching this to women for the past 20 years or more, is the sentence to, so, and I want you to do this and tell me how that feels for you, right? I want you to imagine one of your clients right now who you're struggling with, in that sense that you feel responsible for them, and imagine they're in front of you and you say, I lovingly leave your fate with you. What happens inside of you?
I feel very strange.
Try to say it loud.
I lovingly leave your faith with you. No, it just feels, I can't, because I just can't let go, because I know if I do, that person will really struggle, because the reason she got me as a VA is to help her to not struggle. And I know she's not helping herself by not doing the stuff. But for me, it's kind of almost as fobbing her off and saying, whatever, you do what you do you. I can't. It's crazy.
Yes. It's, well, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's difficult. And I was thinking,
difficult. I think difficult, crazy difficult for me to kind of.
Yes, and I mean, for many people have that, and it's something we need to learn, because when we don't do this and we have this kind of savior behavior, like, because you're being the savior, right? At some point, you get angry, you get resentful, and then internally, even unconsciously, you might even turn against them. Because then you feel being the victim of them, right? So there is a framework which is called the drama triangle, and that is where this is moving inside. I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying, when we learn to step out of it by saying, this is your journey, this is your path, and you do things at your pace, right? Then it has nothing to do with me. But I guess I'm not angry. I'm not pushing you away by saying, no, like, nothing.
But I guess how do I then accept the fact that if I say that to the client,
I'm not saying to say, I'm saying say it inside your head.
Because then will I then, I suppose I wouldn't, because I'm thinking, if I say it in my head, or you think, okay, cool, I'm just gonna let go a little bit, I know what the consequences of these actions are. I'll give you a bit of a background. It's a therapist, so it's someone who's working with people who obviously are struggling themselves, and I know that if she doesn't complete certain tasks, I can't run her practice the way it needs to be run to then help her clients who are going through mental health struggles themselves. They won't get the service that they really deserve and need, because they need stability, because they're going through trauma, they're going through loads of different things. And if they're trying to book an appointment or do something and things are just not working, that's just adding that extra layer of stress, makes it very difficult. So when I say to her, okay, we need to get this done, we need to get that done, this needs to be done, she doesn't do it, which means I can't do my side, which then affects the clients. I know deep down, okay, this is going to hit fan. It's not gonna be nice, because the clients won't be getting what they need. The invoices may not be done properly. they may not be done at all. They may not get, appointment reminders, all these things. So I know
Yes.
the back kind of thing, what's going to happen if I don't
But
take
whose
responsibility.
responsibility is it?
Of course, it is hers, but yeah,
So
it's
who is carrying the emotional load?
I am. She's not.
Who are you helping when you are carrying the emotional load?
Well, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I actually had that conversation with a therapist before, and I said, because one of the other therapists I work with, she said, I'm really struggling, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of clients talk about trauma, and I'm finding it difficult. I said, listen, you need to take some time out and I then suddenly turned into her therapist, and I said, well, if you don't take time out, you're not going to be able to help others. You need to rest. You need time out. So I totally get it. I'm carrying this. So if I'm carrying this, I can't be 100% for the client. But
And
then
if you're carrying this, who are you helping?
Yeah, well, nobody.
Here we go.
Fair. That is fair. That is fair.
Right? And there is yet another layer. If you are carrying this and you're not helping anyone, but what are you doing as well?
What do you mean? As in
abandoning yourself?
Oh God, yeah. That's a different we know where I am. That's a different story. That's absolutely. Well, absolutely, because I'm putting more time and I'm putting more effort into that one client. So actually not just abandoning myself, abandoning other clients to an extent, because instead of spending an hour in the morning doing something for this client, I will spend 2 hours, which means I'm being taken away from another clinic that I need to run. So other clients have to wait because I'm having to deal with this thing that's going on with this client. So actually it's not just me, I'm abandoning. It's probably other clients to an extent as well.
Yes.
Because
but yes, but still the main point I want to see here is you're abandoning yourself, and it's costing you your energy because you're spending energy on worrying about them when that's futile in the sense of it doesn't change anything. They just do what they do, right? And you're paying the price. And yes, and when you're paying the price, other clients of yours are paying the price. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, wow, yes. It's worth changing that pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you break it down into, if you break it down into the specifics of what actually happens and what is causing and what it's costing, not financially, but what it's costing, overall for you as a business owner. If you're doing that, it's the same thing goes for the therapist when they're feeling low and they're feeling down. They can't help one client, but they're also not going to be able to help other clients. And it's the same with not just the therapists that run businesses, it's any business owner, I think.
Yeah.
If you focus on one client, and if you focus on one client too much, the others will probably suffer a little bit as well.
So so now the whole thing is about, is it worth for you changing your pattern?
It is. In the long, it's a difficult thing to comprehend and actually get into the frame of mind of this is what needs to happen. But I'm seeing why that has to happen, because I know myself and I know it's just one client at the moment, but chances are then there will be more. If another client is struggling, it's going to be exactly the same for me.
Because it's your pattern. You will do it each time when you have a client who is doing that.
And if I've got 5 clients that are in the exact same position, then it's going to be really tough mentally for me as well.
Yes.
Not just, as a business owner or whatever. It's going to be mentally tough carrying all that burden.
Exactly. So thank you for sharing all of this with us. We've been here for 20 minutes. I don't know, Wendy's still here. Any questions you have, of course, you can bring them up now, or maybe your experience that you've had. Otherwise, if that's a subject that's interesting to you, like invisible patterns, unconscious patterns, I love I see them, I spot them, I help people change them. And so you can always DM me, contact me to let me know what you thought about this first live. I can't wait to hear from everybody. And yeah, thank you so much, Aga, for being here. And I'll stop if I find where to stop this. I hope you won't disappear right away, but I will try and say thank you for everyone watching this team replay. Please leave us a comment if you see replays. Thank you, Wendy, for being with us. That was a great support. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, where is this now? Here it is.